Now let's talk about the structure of Bentley Hospital and my admittances and basically what's going on there. Basically, I've got a guy that referred me to lawyers 1 and 2 to protect the property that I'm being extorted over, that I'm suggesting the police are involved in, because the person on the name of the title is best friends with Senior Police Officer George Loverock and other police officers. And he's been protected by the police and the property. Basically, I believe that he's obviously shared an interest with the police or police officers, and the police are assisting him to try and get the property by corruptly jailing me or incarcerating me and making me forfeit on the payments where I can't make the payments. And basically, Mr. Johnson's name and the title, he'll automatically collect, like $600,000. And also, the same guy is also involved in my threats on the internet, suggesting, apart from surviving a life-threatening incident after I just had my boat accident, which I deemed very suspicious, and attempted murder. And basically, there he goes again, referring to lawyers 1 and 2 to win over the $1 million property, and also the boat accident. If I didn't survive the 2-kilometre swim, basically, Mr. Johnson would have collected the property again. So there's Mr. Mark Shepherd being involved in my admittances into hospital. Also in 2 methods to obtain the $1 million property. One by referral to 2 corrupt lawyers, and the other one by a boat accident where if I didn't survive, Mr. Johnson would have collected the property. Totally corrupt. Now that sort of structure, when those people are sitting around you diagnosing doctors, is one thing. But furthermore, I have mental health review board transcripts where basically it is stated that in the transcript my doctor says that Mark Shepherd contacted him, and I said, "Oh, Mark Shepherd contacted you?" And I said, "As a police officer," and he said, "Yes." He showed the appropriate identification, and the bottom line is that and I said, "Well, what do you contact you for?" And he said that basically he contacted my psychiatrist at the time, Dr. James Baker, and said that they were organising TRG raids on my property, and that he wanted to sit down with my treating psychiatrist and basically discuss how they were going to be handled. Now the bottom line is, this is the guy that tried to murder me, also perverted the course of justice with the referral to the 2 lawyers to obtain the property, 2 methods to retain the property, is now deeming me ill. Now Mark Shepherd is the most needy person for me to be deemed with a psychiatric illness, simply because it discredits what I'm saying, and it basically makes no one believe me in the fact that these things happened. And but I've got IT experts that agree with me with my reports. I've got professors from university. Brian Martin, Wollongong University, author of the Descent by Medical Record, and Professor Dion Giles, retired Murdoch University professor, writing emails for me and directing me in how to combat this problem that I'm having. Professor Brian Martin also, when I told him my stories, commented in an email which I have in evidence, and he responded well. And he also said that if I wanted, he would refer me to Whistleblowers Australia, and where I could get some assistance. So I've already been recognised as being a whistleblower, which is significant, because like whistleblowers, with all the treatment and how I've been treated by the hospital, that's what happens to whistleblowers. Whistleblowers have stories exactly like mine, where they are persecuted and treated like absolute shit, and defamed, drugged, etc., and ridiculed. And the bottom line is that that's exactly my story. It's exactly my fight. And I have Descent by Medical Record, which is where police corrupted psychiatrists to give a false diagnosis to discredit whistleblowing. I've actually got the players, the police, and the psychiatrists, and whistleblowing. All the factors that are involved in my story is the main theme of Descent by Medical Record and the main users of it. Law enforcement is meant to be a main abuse of of these regulations or government, political, psychiatric abuse. Now, also I've done study on corruption, police corruption all over the world, and this is a common practice all over the world, from Jamaica, Barbados, to India, to America, etc., from Russia, etc. These are common procedures used by corrupt police to discredit whistleblowers and people making accusations of corruption. And that's my story in one. So basically, my whole story fits the parameters and the structure of Descent by Medical Record. My whole story also fits how whistleblowers dealt with and what they have to put up with. My whole story of making complaints and having my medication raised to discredit me and to put me off my fight for justice and to try to deter me, etc. But my passion for justice now is just so much stronger, and basically I've done a full-time job and it's a full-time effort on my part to get to where I am, and it's out in the field with police operations, all the way to studying on the internet, to real life relationships, to mastering how to identify police informants and how they operate, and all the way to running my own operations during police operations and bringing the police unstuck by unraveling their plan, which I'm able to decipher by knowing who the police informants are around me and knowing their roles that they play, and then knowing how I can change that by altering the course of what the plan is, by being able to perceive what it is and getting at certain points and alter the course and use it for my own beneficiary and use it to out police informants by sending them astray and sending them and putting them in positions where only a police informant could go from my steering them to that location. And that's how I out the police informants. And I suggest that I'm very good at what I do, and hence head of the TRG's son has commented that in a statement which I have in evidence as well, a Facebook conversation with my son's girlfriend, where basically the police state that I'm highly regarded, and I'm suggesting that's exactly who I am and what I represent, and what I represent against the police in my fight for justice. They want a battle, they got a battle, and I'm going to win this battle. And at the end of this, there's going to be some very sorry and sad people, and it's not going to be me. Nobody gets a house for free. Everybody pays a mortgage, and policemen's best friends do not get free rides on the back of the police force for a meal ticket into a free mortgage into $1 million property that me and my family and my generations before me and my father and his grandfather worked hard to install into my family and to hand over into our future generations of our offspring. It's absolutely ridiculous, criminal, and it's pathetic the way the government has backed them, from politicians, psychiatrists, all through anything with a government stamp on. It's corrupted.